Hello and welcome. We are on another live stream. Let me check the economic calendar first. Nothing much here, okay. Let's look at the daily chart. Let me first hide these executions. Okay. This is the previous day high. This might work as a support level for today if price comes back here. High. This is current weekly open, also Monday's open, and previous week close. These are current week gap. This is a daily gap. This was the target for yesterday's trades. We took some trades towards this level, but we didn't carry the trade all the way up here. And this simple moving average 20 simple moving average, or on daily chart, let me show it. This one, 20 simple moving average. This one takes my attention. I believe price might want to tap this on probably today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But I am looking at this high, last week's Wednesday high, and I will drop down into 4-hour chart to show you these gaps. I believe these gaps might work as a magnet level. They may draw the price towards themselves. And I also see 200 simple moving average on here. This one. But this time, this is 4-hour 200 simple moving average. Let's mark it and get back to daily chart. It's almost at the same place with the daily 20. Okay, so this is another reason. See price going there. We are currently at right in between hourly 200 SMA and 20 SMA. We might see some choppy price action here because price is between these, and one works as a resistance level and one works as a support level. Of course, price may shoot wicks like that. Always a probability. So I believe price looks bullish on higher time frames, on daily chart, on 4-hour chart. I also want to talk about this too. It is liquidity level. Price took it. Price came real close to 200 simple moving average on daily chart. Probably looks similar on MNQ1 too. Continue on, as you can see, on continuous chart, it almost hit it. I mean, it got really close. Micro chart looks a little bit further, but it doesn't really matter because some orders may get front run. So we don't seek for perfect retracements or perfect taps. Okay, we focus on the levels and the context. Level is this liquidity level, and these gaps, etc. And this 200, and price went back higher immediately after taking out the levels, taking out this previous day low. Then price yesterday closed above this, and price hit this gap level but didn't get too strong rejection. I mean, currently it looks like this gap could only make price push price so little it looks like a bullish retracement or bullish pullback. When I look at 4-hour chart, I see this level is a tap high. By tap high, I mean a consolidation area, breakout of the consolidation area, retracement towards the area, price goes lower, and even if price is bearish, price might want to sweep this and then go back lower. I mean, if this is bullish, it's definitely going higher, and if it is bearish on 4-hour chart, let me articulate it once again more clearly. Okay, if this 4-hour chart is already bullish, then it is bullish, going higher. But if it is bearish, there is a high chance that we see a sweep from here, because price already tested this level multiple times in here, 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 and it kind of looks like price wants to take out the high. I will check ES2 because we might see divergences. Well, ES already took this high long ago, and I think if there was a divergence, price would already be going lower. So I feel like Nasdaq might took this high, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but it feels like it is today. Also, these gaps look like great areas to pull the price towards themselves. I mean, price is currently going up, right? And if it doesn't end up hitting a wall of strong limit sell orders, then it may very well keep going higher. So I ask myself, where would that strong sell orders be? Okay, I mean, it looks like there are some sell orders, obviously. Otherwise, price wouldn't get these rejections from here. But I feel like this might not be enough because of the way price came towards it. Really strong candles left bullish imbalance, and also the way it closed the previous day's candlestick, and price didn't even tested the previous day high yet. I mean, this is already a support level. Even if it gets more rejection from the here, price might do something like that. So also, when we look at the range, price is pretty much range bound, and price has got a tendency for going to the extremes of the range. Okay, I mean, it gets closer to the most extreme points of the range. So I think, let me draw these levels. This is the midline of the range. I think since this is not a strong downtrend, I think price might go a little bit more extreme size of the range. A little bit beyond 50% of the range, okay? I mean, there's also this possibility, coming back here and then doing things like that. But because of the recent price action, the way price got a rejection from these levels, this liquidity level, and the way it turned back up and the way it closed yesterday's candle, I believe we might come to sweep this level. So I'm not absolutely certain. I mean, I can never know for sure what price will do next. I just look at the chart, look at the data, and after looking at the data, ask myself how it looks and how I feel. Okay. By how I feel, I mean I listen to my gut feelings when I'm looking at the daily chart most of the times, because that gut feelings actually contain some data about my past experiences. So there's a cross here, moving average cross. This 200 simple moving average looks a little bit flat. I would rather see it is going a little bit higher. So I will wait some more candlestick closures. And when I look at 15-minute chart or hourly chart, I see this one. This is the breakout. This is the first retracement. This one, higher high, swept retracement, one more sweep, and reverse back higher. So this breakout 1, retracement 2, 3, 4, and double bottom and then reversal 5. I will check 30-minute charts. Yeah, it looks pretty bullish too. 15-minute. This candle closure looks strong enough. I want to see this candlestick closure too. I am not absolutely certain if breakout is occurring right now. I am not sure if price comes back inside this 15-minute range. The range high, this is the range low. I mean, if this candlestick closes inside the range, then I would be glad that I waited, right? So on 1-minute chart, there's nothing here. On 30-second, there's an SPS here, but let me look at the imbalances. Yeah, currently I will stick to the 1-minute, and I might go back to 30-second if price becomes really fast. I will mark first 5-minute as I always do. Okay. This is the range of the first 5-minute. Yes. The 9:30 open. This is the first 5-minute. it is much more easier to see on 5-minute chart. Just open the 5-minute chart and grab the Fibonacci from this side to this low, and these are the deviation levels. Price came to one standard deviation, made a double bottom, and gave a sharp reversal from there. I believe we might be coming here. I want to mention this level once again. This was the daily high we marked on our daily chart, and it also the 4-hour high. So I will just mark it. These are nice targets over here, and this is the previous daily opening gap. Excuse me, not daily, weekly. Previous week's opening gap. This is current week. This is previous week, and this is the week. These are the weeks before. So I will check older gaps. I will just look at them. I think these are enough for us right now. This is the true day open, midnight open. Yeah, it looks pretty bullish. So price gave the crossover. Normally I would suspect this long, but since the volume is getting increased, I might consider taking a long setup over here, and I believe this daily gap now might work as a support level. It was an old resistance level, as you can see. I'm not placing limit orders, or I'm not jumping in with a market order. I take my entries with buy stop orders when I'm going for long, and sell stop for shorts. I mean, I rarely collect the market buy and market sell. So and I never click market buy, especially when it looks like this. Okay, I'm now watching this level, the 200 simple moving average, and this New York midnight open here, or through day open. There's also another tap low on 1 minute. It created an SBS on 30-second, but another on 1 minute. If I see something like that, candlestick closes bullish, and then another bullish candle inside here, and then some slow bearish candles, and then if it starts to go back higher again, I'm longing here. I will not immediately join from here with buy stop order. If there was no imbalance here, I would do that. I would join. But since this is a bearish imbalance, I don't want to join short here, because I don't want to get stopped out, something like that. So I will wait and see what price is doing. 5-minute chart, moving averages are a little bit too close together. Current days, really small gap. The previous day close and current day open. They will end between them the small daily opening gap. Do you remember I was mentioning the possibility of this 15-minute chart closing inside this range, right? And it did it on the last minutes, right? It was looking pretty bullish. It was looking like a big white candle. It was looking like a solid breakout, but right near the close of the candlestick, there was about 4 minutes for candlestick closure and price did that. So we are inside of the range, inside of this range, okay? And we are inside of higher part of the, I take a long setup here, I might take my first partials rather quickly. And I wouldn't really want to rush too much. Okay. I will check 30 seconds. Okay. We lock this one. If price did something like that, if it was like that, I would go long from here. But since price never had this, I want to wait a little. I'm not certain if price looks bullish enough for me to participate. It is starting to look better, but now I want to see the reaction from this gap. What will price do? Will it come lower too much, or will it just stay firm a little? If I stay firm, will it do something like that? Break, gap, and higher high, and then come back to take the step. I might take that long setup. Otherwise, I will be waiting. I want to see this level holding the price. It is going to go up right now, not before making more pullback. Price already tapped the previous day close and current day open. It's daily gap. This is a nice support level. So I don't know, it will probably go higher, but I want to be a little bit more patient. We have still time, and I believe price might give multiple long setups today, and also I am not sure if price would go higher like it did yesterday. I mean, by that I mean Yesterday was a nice bullish day, right? And pretty good. And today I don't know, the 200 simple moving average looks a little flat, and it has been, price has been going up above and below the 200 simple moving average, and I want to understand what price is trying to do, and I want to see if price is going away from this and is starting to look upwards. I mean, I want to see that price is done chopping around this yellow line. Okay, if price is going to keep doing things like that, then I don't want to participate. That's simple. But if price comes to this level, then I might look for scalp setups, scalp long setups around here. But seems like price is just going higher and looks like just a manipulation lower. As I said, if price tested this like this, I would have taken a long setup and I would probably close the half of it. Since it didn't do that, I just want to wait and see what it is doing. And if price draws something like that, I will take it. I will take this long stop here, entry around here, and first partial above this level here. So I'll just keep waiting. I will observe this level. And this level. Both together. If I am going to take a long here, I would wait for a couple of candlestick closures around here, some dojis, etc. And as always, I don't want an entry inside of big imbalance. This is our paper trade balance. We take really low risk, couple of micros. This is the profit. I mean, if we can create the correct habits, there is no reason that we cannot do the same on funded or live accounts either, right? I mean, if you trade purely with your gut feelings, then there is a huge difference between live trade and paper trading. But if you don't trade with your gut, if you are trading with a concrete system, then there is no huge difference between taking a small risk or taking a paper trade. And then as long as you keep going consistently, you can easily increase the amount of risk you take by scaling. So this is why I'm trying to be really patient with the process. I'm not hurrying to start trading with live funds just because it has been profitable for a week. So I'll check yes once again on lower time. I want to see lower time frames. Yes, looks a little bit more bullish than Nasdaq. Yes, it does. Pretty above the gaps that we target on Nasdaq. Nasdaq didn't even come to this one. Previous week's gap. That's probably why ES has been more bullish. If this was a swing low, I mean, if this was something like that, then I might look for a long setup inside of this imbalance too, like that. But since it is not a tap low on 1 minute chart, it's only a tap low on 30-second, and since price seems to be slowing down a bit, at least it is currently consolidating and has been pretty much inside of this price range for the last 30 minutes. So I wanna watch a little bit more. This doesn't look like a bad setup, something like that. Maybe partials on 1 hour or 2 hour. Well, I guess. Yeah, it is too. But there is nothing wrong with waiting because, as I said, price is inside of this range and it has been a little bit low. So I believe if price is coming to my target, it will not come immediately, okay? I mean, it has got a tendency towards moving a bit slower, a little bit slower, and I am betting that it might keep going like this. I don't believe that it might go immediately, okay? I believe it might go slowly, so that means it might give me another chance around here. Seems like price is making a second combo, the combo of a combo. Something rare. Doesn't always happen, but this is not a swing, so I will ignore this too. I will go back to 1 minute chart. I won't look at 30-second too much, as I said, because price is a little slow. But I like seeing this reaction from here. I want to see now price closing above here, maybe facing towards this high without coming back to middle and going higher. I see things like that. If I see that price is starting to respect these levels as a support levels, then I might get more confident on my bullish bias, and I might start to look for my entry pattern above this. I mean, this wasn't a bad setup because price swept the lows, price hit the 100 moving average, price bounced from there, but I wanted to see another setup that my the probabilities are in my favor more than this one. Because I mean, if these levels holds and if price decides to expanding towards my targets, then that means there is a possibility that price giving another entry around here and better. And if it keeps going from that, the next setup would likely be more cleaner, and the next setup would likely be cleaner and probably faster, because this place is actually a decision point, and decision points usually becomes more sloppy because there's a balance between buyers and sellers for a while, and that balance pushes the price back and forth. I mean, buyers buy here, sellers sell here, buyers buy here, and price goes back and forth. And it's like think of it like that. Think of it like you are a human and you see two elephants are wrestling. Would you like to be close to them when they're wrestling? You certainly wouldn't want that. Okay. I mean, if you don't want to get crushed accidentally. So I believe it's something like that. When there is a war zone between bulls and bears, I don't want to be inside of that war zone. Okay, I wanna step aside, watch for the winner. After I see one side winning, I would like make my bet. I would like to make my bet. So I'm not surprised to see a slower price action for today, by the way. Yes, took the high, as they could not. It is high. And I mean, this is still a battleground, right? I mean, there's a probability that price is reversing, and yeah, okay, we get this simple moving average crossover, and price went above the averages, but there's always a possibility to see something like that, right? If this happens, and now it's a bearish crossover, right? And when you look here, you can see it. So this is why I stay cautious when the 200 simple moving average looks flat. I mean, this thing doesn't happen. This going above and below thing doesn't happen when the simple moving average 200 is looking higher, because when it is looking higher, the 20 looks like this most of the time. And when they are like this, they just constantly and not constantly cross each other like that. So I want to look at 15-minute chart once again. And 5-minute. I mean, if I took long setups from these levels, from here or here, I would have taken partial profits, and the rest of the position might have been in break even or in profit with stop loss here. But I'm glad that I'm not inside of this position, because watching this when you are not in a position is not as tiresome as when you are in a position. And since I do everything I do with mental energy, I don't want to waste my mental energy for small wins, okay? I mean, well, now taking another humble and no imbalances. Maybe I might start for looking for. I might start looking for a long setup around here, if I can get it with a reasonable stop size. I don't want to put a huge stop loss and target something small. So still waiting. Does this has a week? This. I don't know. Twice combo. Here I want to check. I want to check ES. Okay. Is the NDR on ES? MNQ. I will place 2 micro. Nice time to buy. About this high. Plus here. I don't wanna go in big this, because price is range bound. I will take my first partial around here on 1-to-1, and I will leave the runner here. I didn't tag the entry. Okay. Where did I say first partial was? Around here, I guess. This is the first partial, and this is the rest of it. If price takes out this level, our position will be risk-free. If not, well, that will take our stop and we will keep watching, get a better setup. Let me explain the logic behind this setup once again. I will remove all the drawings. We already talked about why price was looking bullish on the higher time frame, but price being bullish on higher time frame is not enough for us because, well, even though it is bullish on higher time frame, it might do some shit like that on lower time frames. For example, you will take a long here and you might get stopped out over here, etc. So we want to see some manipulations before we are taking our lower time frame entry. Okay, because if you are using multiple time frames and you are taking your entries on the lowest time frames, then it might get a little bit confusing and tricky to guess the best entry because you are basically trying to snipe some level. I might add another one based on the closure of candlestick. Okay, so we talked about the higher time frame and we talked about the levels and we explained why it looks bullish. So it confirmed our bullish expectations from here, but then couldn't broke out on the 15-minute chart. So we stayed a little bit more patient, try and see what price is doing. Price took these levels, this one and this one, and then price created this low here, swept this and come back higher, and another low here. You see the triple combo over here. The only reason I took this long was that combo. Okay, if price didn't do that, I would never touch it inside of this range. I would wait either for lower prices such as this levels, or I would wait for price to break out above here. If price comes back and sweeps our stop, oh, we are adding another one. Nice closure this was, and I gotta check 1 hour once again. Yeah, pretty much on the same level. Okay. Three. Okay. I will be also monitoring ES chart. I mean, if ES takes out this high and as they cannot take out highs, then I might either trail my stop loss or exit from the position altogether. And if this comes back and takes our stop loss, I will definitely be waiting. Because price already created a failed swing over here. This one. I mean, if it immediately took the stop loss, if it did something like this before we added the third partial from this level, if it did something like that and then keep going higher, I might say, well, this might be a double bottom, so I might try one last time, but since it already created this, I don't want to see price taking out this level. If price takes out this level, I will be waiting. I wouldn't be so surprised if price went back to take out this. Let me check the hourly chart. I mean, it's not a big surprise to see that price is idling around here, right? Remember what I said at the beginning of this live session? Price is between these two levels, and price might act a little bit more different, a little bit choppy, etc. So we came back to another imbalance level. Nice closure here. That's what I wanted to see. Let me check ES. It seemed like Nasdaq is getting stronger than ES, which is a good thing. That means Nasdaq might want to take out these highs. First partial taken. Now I'm going to move my stop loss here. Because if it is going, I want to see it going, and I want to finish. I want to see it is finishing its business with this level. Also, we are near to end of the close of this hourly candlestick. I would like to see it closing stronger, maybe closing above this. But if it comes back and takes out this low, I wouldn't really want to be inside of it. Because as I said, I don't want to waste my mental energy trying to figure out what the price is doing. But I will bring the stop back here to see total risk. 92, okay. And here, 50. Okay. I will just leave this like this. It might still come back to take this stop because it has been inside of the range. It's range bound and there is no much imbalances. It already took the stop loss. Let me check what happened. We took a small partial and then it took our stop. It's almost break even. Now I most certainly don't want to see this low is being taken. If price takes this out, and I will zoom out. You know what? I can still zoom out. 5-minute charts. Because price has been slow, right? And when price is slow, it's a good thing to zoom out. Some traders were saying something like that. When in doubt, get out. And I say, when in doubt, zoom out. Where's my daily gap? I deleted it. And I deleted everything on the chart. Just open the daily chart and draw it from there. and another one. Once again, first partial on 1 hour, second the runner. Wait a second, I will put the stop loss here. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I will. Because these weeks are already long and I don't want to see price coming back lower. If this takes out the stop loss, I will zoom out. Where was the 1 hour? Yeah, it already took the stop loss, so I feel like it is going lower, and I feel like this short setup might hit the TP, but obviously I won't take this short setup. I will just wait instead. Almost break even still. So risk is managed, and also I think monitoring the price action was pretty good too. Because I mean, this was quite choppy and consolidating, and we didn't lose anything yet. So I think this has been a good session so far. I'm not saying I love to see this kind of price action, but you should see the way I traded in the past. You know, you might have seen maybe 100 trades over here, either taking a win out of luck or blowing the accounts, you know, longs, shorts all over the place, and trading the 15-second chart inside of this range as if this itself is not enough already. I mean, it is quite choppy enough, and yeah, I am glad that I am able to sit still, watch price, and manage the risk, manage the positions properly, and not lose anything. I think I couldn't have done it if I didn't reverse back to paper trading. I mean, I was in a state of mind that I was unable to handle any kind of risk. The risk amount did not matter. I was just looking zoomed in into my current situation. I believed that I lost my edge, I became unprofitable, etc. And I was too focused on the problem itself, and I couldn't see the solutions, right? Instead of learning more, instead of improving myself, or instead of getting used to new profitable habits, I was just locked in with tunnel vision towards the 50k accounts, that funded accounts, quote unquote funded accounts. And I was basically getting sad at losing some paper money, right? Because it's still simulated account and it is still paper money as long as you don't get paid. And until the payout hits your bank account, it's all just paper, not real money. And I was getting sad over it, and I was telling myself I want to be a millionaire, and I was getting sad at losing $100 on paper money. So it was just the chronic stress and the chronic weed abuse, alcohol abuse, etc. Things like that. So I'm just glad I was able to come back from that hole I dug for myself. I mean, I don't blame anybody or anything, by the way. I don't even blame the substances that I used because well, it's just cause and effect, right? If you use too much weed, you mess up your brain. If you drink too much alcohol, pretty much same happens. So I didn't even tell that weed did this to me. No, weed is an inanimate object. By the way, I apply same principle to markets either. When I lose or when price happens to be choppy, I don't say, oh, price was bad, oh, price did this, oh, price did that. It is an inanimate object, right? It doesn't have intentions, good or bad. It is not, people say, if you do this, market will punish you, and if you do that, market will reward you. And I think that kind of perspective is a little bit flawed because it doesn't punish us or it doesn't reward us. We either reward ourselves by our disciplined actions or we just punish ourselves, okay? We are the ones who do these things, right? So I'm focused on myself more than I focused on the markets, on the price action. If the price is bad or good. Well, okay. Let's say I call this price action as bad price action. I don't like it. I lose money. Okay. If I am insistently trading this kind of price action and losing money, who is making the loss? Who is creating the damage? Me or the market? This is market's nature. Okay. It just consolidates and expands, right? This is the nature of market. Market is just being itself. And I am placing the trades and I am losing money if I am constantly clicking buy and sell above around here. I mean, buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. I did this many times. I'm guilty of it, right? And I believe many traders, be it profitable or unprofitable, doesn't matter. Many traders probably did things like that. Many of us probably thought this was going lower when price looked like this, and many of us probably clicked the market sell around here, right? And saw things like that. Oh my god, I was wrong. It is going high. I gotta buy and close this in loss and buy another, and then price comes back lower, right? And lose again. So we are the ones doing everything, okay? We control whether we click this button or not. We control which game plan we came here, okay? We came here with. So if we focused on ourselves and our actions only, it really gets easier, right? It gets a lot easier because we no longer feel that pressure that sways us from place to place. I mean, if I took bigger risk than I can handle right now, let's say right now I got $1,000 or $10,000. If I risk too much of it, I will likely get my vision will likely get more blurry. Okay, I will have a tendency doing more mistakes because I would be more impulsive. Why? Because I would be scared, and when I scared, my amygdala would be activated more than my prefrontal cortex, right? And that might cause me to act impulsive and make mistakes and lose more and more. So I don't let myself to get scared, right? And how I do that? Well, I don't take risk for a while. It's that simple. I'm currently not taking any risks and I'm not scared at all. And I'm not worried about my personal image, so I'm not afraid of losing the paper money in, in front of people. I'm not afraid of being humiliated. I'm not afraid of being called stupid or something like that. So I'm just calmly learning and sharing the things I learn. And I am really enjoying this process. The reason I started doing these live streams is just purely fun. I am doing this for the fun of it. I mean, if I was alone in front of my screens looking for a paper trade and waiting for how much? About an hour, I would be bored AF. Okay, so I would have tendency towards clicking the button. I mean, taking paper trades, etc. Or I would probably leave the paper trading after a couple of days, and I would say, well, yes, I'm not scared anymore. I'm managing the risk. Okay, it's time to go back to live, and I might have uh, went back to taking risks prematurely, and this might have been suboptimal. So I decided to open this channel and start doing the streams live to externalize my thoughts. You might try things like that. I mean, I didn't tell myself, oh, I'm going to be an influencer, oh, I'm going to be a guru, oh, I'm going to make money from this and that, I will sell course. No, I didn't even think about those, and I don't care about those because thinking about that kind of stuff creates performance anxiety. But if you start doing something without any expectation, that performance anxiety vanishes. So I'm actually doing an experiment, and so far this experiment has been really good. The experiment was what happens if I do these sessions live? Would I feel different? Would I feel less impulsive? Things like that. And seems like it is working. So I will keep doing this for a while. Honestly, I'm not doing this to save people, help people, because I currently I haven't saved myself yet. I mean, I'm not seeing myself in a place to teach other people. I mean, I can teach concepts, I can teach uh, about these gaps, levels, etc. But I cannot teach anyone how to become consistently profitable yet, because I didn't uh, I I didn't go there yet. Okay, yeah, I was profitable for a year, but I believe that wasn't enough. So so I am currently focusing on just sharing um, And yeah, I mean, obviously, I would really want other traders to make profits, right? I'm currently following some of the traders from stoic traders, and I am seeing some of them getting payouts, and I honestly feel really happy to see them succeed, right? It's great to see other traders getting money, especially the ones who have who has been struggling recently, right? Um, because it gives us belief, right? You see someone just like yourself, he is or she is struggling, losing money, and doing the same mistakes you did, and feeling that same awful feelings that you feel, and eventually you see that that person starting to act disciplined, and then eventually starting to get payments or getting profits from the live accounts, etc. And this really makes me inspired and happy. I'm telling this, yes, he was or she was in my boots, feeling the same things, doing the same mistakes, and now he or she found a way out, right? And it makes me feel really good to see that. So I hope anyone watches this might get better at the craft, at the profession, and I really hope eventually we will be profitable. Honestly, I currently believe that I am already back where I was. I mean, I am starting to believe that I am already profitable right now, because um, the money is a lagging indicator, right? Just like these simple moving averages. Okay, it always follows the price, and the profits always follow the process. So yeah, I talked a lot. What I mean is, what I'm trying to say is, we gotta stay patient, and we gotta stay vigilant. And if we feel like we are spiraling, we gotta stop being participants and start being observers. Okay, so if you are in a bad place, like I was, if you really feel yourself bad, if you're blowing too much accounts, losing too much, I believe best thing to do is just stop and take a breath. Take a breath, okay? Take a deep breath and ask yourself what the hell is going on, okay? And if you do that, at least the feelings will be gone, okay? I mean, which one is worse? Losing the money or the feeling you feel, okay? I mean, you can earn money somehow, right? Sometimes you buy a $50 account, you blow it, and you feel like you lost 5 million, right? This feeling happens. You tell yourself, why do I feel that bad? I could can buy more. I mean, I can get $50. It's not a big deal, but what you actually lose is not that $50. Uh, in that particular time, when you feel really down, really bad, uh, you feel like you are also losing your chance, losing your hopes, losing your dreams. In that brief moment, that's I believe that's why it feels so terrible, right? I mean, when you lose money in that short moment, you don't feel like you are losing money. You also feel like you are trapped inside a vicious, terrible cycle, and your brain, as if you feel as if your brain, your amygdala telling you that, oh, this will happen like this again and it will never get better. And believe me, if you just take a step backwards and just focus on the process for a while, it does get better. Okay. It's about human nature. If you keep the deliberate practice going, there is no chance, there is no way that you cannot get better. It's simple neuroscience, right? It's all about the neuroplasticity. If you keep doing something constantly, your brain eventually rewires itself physically. It creates new neural pathways and it eventually changes itself. It adapts, right? So, by the way, the neuroplasticity works both ways. I mean, if you keep doing the wrong stuff constantly, your brain will be wired to keep doing that constantly, and especially when it is in an alert mode, it will just go back to its uh, old state, right? I will give an example from myself. I was struggling with overtrading, okay, and I was telling myself I shouldn't overtrade. I should stay calm. I should be taking these particular setups and don't take too much setups, okay? Then I would start the day. I would stay disciplined. I wouldn't take too much trades and I would stay calm. I wouldn't overtrade. I would act as professional as possible. But then one small thing would happen. Something would trigger me. Something would make me angry or sad or maybe scared, feared, right? I would went into drawdown and that drawdown made me feel worried or anxious. Then that trigger causes the overtrading once again. And I think this is all about neuroscience once again because uh, when I was reading some books about neuropsychology or neuroscience, I learned that when our brains goes into fight or flight mode, it has got a tendency towards preserving energy, right? Our brain wants to preserve energy, so it goes back to automated behaviors because automated behaviors uh, demand less energy. So what I'm trying to say is, if we have got profitable habits, we will likely stick to them when we feel alert or we feel scared. Okay, if we have got a tendency, if we have got the habit to cut our losses and walk away from the charts when we get scared, our brain will likely keep doing that constantly. And if we have got tendency towards increasing the size when we get scared, our brain will likely revert back to it. So in order to change it, we need pruning of the old neural pathways and also creating the new neural pathways, right? But neuroplasticity is a luxury for us. Why is it a luxury? Because it requires more energy, and our brains evolved towards conserving the energy, right? So What I'm trying to say is it's almost impossible to take risks and take profits, earn money and manage risk and change all bad habits all at once. Okay, it's really something difficult to do. Um, I mean, if we try do several things at once, we may succeed it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it will definitely get more difficult and we will be more vulnerable towards making some small mistakes that eventually turn into a domino effect or into a snowball effect. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell is if you have habits that are causing you to lose money too much and causing you to feel yourself terrible, I mean, how you feel is more important than the money you lose, I believe, because some people uh, hurt themselves after losing money, like right, attempting suicides, etc. And this is something really, really terrible because it's like it is like an evolutionary bug, right? Brain, it's as if brain is shutting down itself just because it may lose the resources, all the resources. What I'm trying to tell is, if you are in a bad place, it is really a good thing to take a step backwards. I mean, you don't have to quit trading or you don't have to take a break if you don't want to. You don't want to stay away if you don't want to lose touch with trading. You can just very well go back to paper trading. And if that paper trading starts to feel really boring, then you can do it with a friend through Discord or something, or you can do it live just like I do, right? I mean, opening a live stream from YouTube is for free. Nobody demands anything. And it doesn't matter if anyone watches you or not, right? Because, well, you are doing this for yourself, right? So, I mean, it's a good thing to take a step backwards if you feel really bad. Um, Other than that, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm not telling to do this or do that. I'm not an arrogant person, and I mean no disrespect anyone who watches this, okay? I don't care if you are profitable or unprofitable. I respect your individuality and autonomy, so I am not like most of the influencers or gurus. Do this, do that, you should do this, you should quit that, you should. No. I instead prefer to share my experiences and the things that happened to me and just honestly share those experiences. I mean, obviously you can see that I'm not trying to lie or I'm not trying to look better than who I am, okay? I don't really care about the social image and I don't really care too much about getting something after lying to people, okay? So, I mean, if I was going to lie, I wouldn't say that I lost all my funded accounts. I would probably be sharing those old payout sheets. What was this? Ah, certificates, yes. So I'm not here to scam anyone. I'm not here to hide the truth or mislead people. So I just want to share. I don't really know why I want to share. I just want to share. I don't know. I think I just enjoy talking about trading and charts. Okay. And I don't really like being interrupted while I talk about it. And since trading is something really exciting, you get interrupted often when you talk to other trader, and you also have got a tendency towards interrupting the other trader. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit and look at the price. I'm honestly feeling a little bit proud because I didn't get chopped out inside of this range. I didn't get angry. I didn't even take that short setup. Something like that, I guess. Maybe something like that. I don't really remember. But it's okay. Either my bias was wrong and price is just reversing without taking out this one, or price might just want to come to my levels another day, right? It's always a possibility. It might take this today, tomorrow, the day after that, or next week. Doesn't matter. What matters is I look at the price, I check the levels, I found a bias, and I saw these two moving averages, and I considered the possibility of price chopping in between them, because as I said, this one is a resistance level, a dynamic resistance level, and this one is a dynamic support level. So yeah, I'm feeling a little proud just being able to sit still. I will not take any setups from here right now, especially when these two are this close to each other. If you just joined the stream, this one is 20 simple moving average, the average of the last 20 candlestick, and this is the 200 simple moving average, the orange one. And when price is consolidating, these two gets close to each other, and they might go and cross each other back and forth. So if I see a crossover and then strong expansion below the lows, then I might look for a short setup towards this gap. This is the current weekly opening gap, but I think I will be really cautious about the short setups. I would rather wait and see a long setup instead of short. I mean, something like that, these two touching each other or crossing each other, and then starting to expand higher. I would like to see price coming inside of this slowly, and I might look for scalp longs over here if price doesn't come too fast. These places could be a nice long, especially a long like this. Price is coming to midpoint and then reversing higher and then leaving something like that. I would like to take something like that if price gives. If it doesn't, I will just keep talking, I guess. But I think talking is better than losing, right? Price filled this imbalance. This one still stays. Let me check 15-minute once again. Now, would you look at that? Nasdaq is an ugly mistress today, huh? I'm not saying this is a bad price action. I believe there could be some people trading these very well. And I believe there are some traders that took profits inside of this range. But me, I'm not interested. I like price movements like this one, right? Let us keep waiting. And it has been really slow, so I will zoom out to 5 minutes. Remove everything once again. Draw my daily opening gap box. Where was it? Draw it on daily. This is my daily opening gap. This is the Tuesday high. This is the weekly open. Weekly opening gap. Okay. And oh, another level. There's no reason it shouldn't hit this level next week. Give this next week. Might take it now too. What I'm trying to say is I might be wrong about my bullish bias for today, right? And I'm not hesitating. I'm just open for new information, okay? I'm not saying just because price got a reaction from it, I'm not saying, oh, I was wrong. I'm gonna come here. No, I am always open for receiving new information, new data, okay? If price is telling me I might not come here today, then I listen to the price. I don't try to force my will on price, okay? I never do that. Price is something I respect, right? And I believe price is always right, and I might be always wrong. So I might be wrong, but price cannot be wrong, okay? Let me check the 15-minute chart. Okay, I want to mark this level and this level, but I'm focused more on this one. Let me check out the session liquidity too. I think price already took London low is over here. Price took it. London I. Which one should I call London high? I don't know. I think I will call it. But price also took previous day high. We'll mark it this one. This was from 2 days ago, so I will mark it 2 and this one as PDH. For me, the more recent it has formed, the more important it is. Okay. Let me check this. On hourly chart, this also became a tap low, right? The liquidity level. I wait for the sweep and then I participate, right? And this is my range. They call this zone. Some traders demand level. ICT call this an order block. When you look at this higher time frame, ICT order block, and when price bounces from the high, it draws the order block like that, and when it bounces from the bodies, it draws it like that, it draws it like that. I'm not blaming the old uncle or anything too. I believe everything he talks about are pretty much correct. I mean, by everything, the concepts, right? That imbalances and liquidity and order blocks and all things like that, weekly gaps, daily gaps, they are work because they are the things pretty much almost all professional traders use somehow. So, but I don't believe that ICT just created them. In the beginning of this live session, I was talking about the probability of price consolidating and chopping instead of going higher and then making another cross like he did over here, and I drew something like that. You can see it on the video recording of this live session after this session ends. I'm not telling you this to I knew it, I'm great, I'm the best. No, I'm telling this just to remind you that you can anticipate most of the things too. All you need to do is be cautious and be prepared, right? So, and if you be focused more on feedback rather than the ideas inside of your head, okay? Because the things we think about, the things we believe are not the objective reality, right? It is a subjective reality that our brain, our nervous system creates for us, right? our brain receives the data and starts to interpreting the data, and by that interpretation our reality gets created, right? So it is always a wise thing to do to be suspicious about our beliefs and expectations about price action, especially because it's all about probabilities, right? So instead of focusing on a single level, I am focusing on the feedback. For example, if price didn't hit that level and use that level and just kept going higher, I would receive a feedback, and that feedback would tell me that price seems bullish, and it still looks bullish, right? But when it is that huge candlestick, my brain says, well, why didn't it bounce from here? Why didn't it needed to? Why did it need to take out this low? And why did it need to come back here, right? And why is it not making a new high and uh, keep going slow? If you keep looking at price like this, if you keep focusing on the feedback rather than the concept, okay, you get much more fluid and much more flexible, and you understand the live tape reading, live price action more than many others. Okay, so I think one of the best things I ever did was this, being open for feedback from price, right? So I I mean, okay, I was bullish. I was expecting price to take out this level, and I was waiting for it, expecting or hoping, wishing, I don't know, whatever you want to call. I wanted to see that price taking out this one, going higher, and if price did that without leaving an imbalance, I would have taken a long here and targeting these levels. I mean, if this was a real money, I would hope to get a nice long from here and take my profits here. And since I treat paper trading and real trading pretty much the same, I was still hoping to get a nice long trade from here. But just because I hoped that, just because I wanted to see that, doesn't mean that is the objective reality, right? So when I started to uh, see data that conflicting with my expectations, then I take a step backwards and I started to think what's happening, what is it doing? Is it gonna give me another chance, or is it gonna give me a solid reason to play along like it did here? Okay, I believe this was a solid reason to long. It didn't give the full TP, but still it gave something, right? And we didn't end up with much loss, even though we took two losses, right? Two hits. We were wrong for twice, and we didn't lose much, right? Pretty much this $20 drawdown, and it is with slippage. If price went to the places we expected, we would get some hundreds, okay, something like that. So it may look nothing big, but when it is scaled, it is huge, right? And that's currently what we are focused on. Next couple $100 will not change our lives, but gaining the ability to scale the skill infinitely, almost infinitely, gaining that ability is what we want, and this is what will change our lives, right? Do you guys have any questions? Hi, Nick Hill. Did I pronounce it right? Nick Hill Gapta. Hi, my friend. If you guys have any kind of questions, you can ask it on the chat. Or you don't have to ask questions. If you have any ideas about price or anything, you can share it too. You can share pretty much anything, you know. If you had a fight with boyfriend or your girlfriend, you can share it too. We are here for you. Also, I think today I was pretty consistent with my analysis and with my expectations because my analysis showed me multiple probabilities. The most likely probability was long idea and the idea of price coming to these levels, but also my analysis told me that price might act choppy around here. Price might want to reverse from here. I believe a reversal has not came yet. I mean, if this was a reversal, I would expect something a little bit more, a little bit faster, right? But it's been quite slow, really slow. And this thing still flat, almost looking upwards, but when you zoom out, it is really flat, upwards flat. So I am extremely suspicious about any kind of short position. Normally, this is a cap high, right? This one, this one. By tap high, I mean breakout or sequence, right? And retracement, second sequence, lower low, third sequence, right? But I would be extremely suspicious from taking a short positions from here because it's been really slow and there is almost no imbalances, right? Just keeps filling. It doesn't look like it just wants to drop that conviction. Okay. So I am suspicious about shorts for now. And not just for shorts, I am suspicious about longs either because we are right in the middle of the range and price is extremely slow. I believe this is a slow price action, right? And I believe the volume is not very high. I mean, maybe the volume is high. I don't know. I don't look at the volume indicators, but at least I can tell that there is no one-sided volume here, right? There is no imbalance here. By imbalance, I mean imbalance between the buy and sell orders, right? So I don't think that many people are hitting the market sell or market buy. Or maybe there are many people hitting them, but their notional size is equal. Right? Their position size are equal or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not interested if it is not dropping like it is going to hell. Okay, and I'm not interested if it is not going higher like it is going to moon. It was looking like it was going to moon here, but didn't take long. Just swept the range low. Is here. and immediately went back higher to sweep the range high. And after sweeping the range high, it has been really slow. And as I said, low price, write it on here. Okay, low price plus middle of range. No trade for me. Okay, right in the middle of the range. You can see it with your eyes, right? Your naked eyes. You can see it with drawing a box, right? From here to here, middle. Here to here, middle. Here to here, middle. It doesn't matter how you draw the box. If you get confused where to pick your range, if I was going to this range, I would pick these levels probably. This is range high for me, and this is the range low for me. Okay, maybe here. Doesn't really matter, but if you get confused by, you can just pick the most extreme levels. This is the range low, the range high, right? And price is most definitely inside of this range, right in the middle of it. I use 50 points. By 50 points, I mean midpoints, only when price is expanding or trending. Okay. During consolidations, I have no business here. Just the extremes. Either after the sweeping of the extremes to the range, or close to range lows. For example, this already swept this one. Okay. And is getting closer to range lows, and if it gets nice bounces from here, I might look for ranges when scalp trades when it is close to range low, right? But I have no business in the middle. Oh, some ICT traders use this. Fibonacci, PD hooray. Reverse this. Midpoint, no business. I mean, think of it with a higher time frame context, right? Where is the most highest high for today? It's right here. And which low has created that high? This one, right? And which price levels price likes to sweep and go? Well, is why? Because when price comes back and takes out this, half of the traders will perceive this as a market structure break going lower. Other half will perceive this as a liquidity sweep manipulation going higher. And if price does some tricky stuff here, something like that, it can manipulate both sides, and it can then go doing its business. And if it is going to do this on 15-minute chart or 1-hour chart, imagine how 1 minute might look, right? I think today I will call it a day for AM session at least, because AM session is almost finished. We are going into lunch and I want to go to the gym, workout. So I will close this live stream here. We didn't took much trades. We took one break even and one loss and a small partial, and ended the day almost in break even. So I will close this day like this. I might open a live stream when I come back on PM session, but I'm not promising it because I don't know how long it is gonna take. So maybe I'll see you on PM session, or maybe I can just share a video afterwards. I believe price is going to do its business on either lunch or PM. I mean, we are likely going to see a little bit more excited price action, something more exciting than this on lunch and PM. So I'm closing this session right now. Thank you for joining. It was really fun, and I believe today we learned something new too. Take care of yourself. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.